So I first saw Jake on LDS Planet. It would show you who had viewed your profile. I think his name was Cowboys or something like that. So in December, right before Christmas break, I wrote him a message and just said, hey, since neither one of us checks this very often, here's my number. It was January 1st. He texted me, and then we kind of text back and forth all that night. And so it was the next week, so it was about mid-January when he called for the first time. And I can remember I was really nervous, and so I had like stayed dressed up nice, and I had like brushed my teeth and like made sure, like I said a little prayer, and I read my scriptures so that I like could just calm myself down. And we talked for 2.5 hours that night. It was a really easy conversation right from the get-go. He started where he'd text me every morning, hope you have a good day, or good morning, and really nice things, and I could count on it. I looked forward to his texts in the morning. And then it was first part of February that he ended up calling me every single night that week, and from then on we talked to each other every single night. We met up first in March. I had gone to visit my family, and he drove down from Idaho, and we met up at Salt Lake at my grandma's apartment complex. But we went to an aquarium and walked around the living aquarium. It's in Draper, and Jake was super cute with the penguins. He was like all excited, and he was trying to like keep it in. And immediately we were able to talk, and it was comfortable. He was just super cute, glowing, big smile. And so when I first saw him, he had this big grin on his face, and I thought, yes, perfect. So, and he kept the grin the whole time. It was really sweet. So then after the aquarium, we went and got lunch at a pizzeria. He was super sweet and had looked up a pizzeria place since I loved pizza so much. After lunch, I told him, how about we go get the ingredients for enchiladas? And so we went to the grocery store, we bought all the ingredients, and then went back to my grandma's house, played a couple games with her, and my sister and I made the enchiladas, and then Jake got to meet the whole family that night. He handled it really well. I was trying to watch to gauge how he was doing, and he did well with it. We went up Ensign Peak. We got our first kiss up there, and I went out to Idaho for Corey's sealing, his brother's sealing, and that's when I met his family for the first time, and he proposed. He brought me. I thought we were just going for the horse ride, and turned out to be him proposing.
So we met online. Kind of the crazy thing is just how random it was and how inspired our meeting was, because typically when you search, you usually put in a zip code so it only selects people that are really close to you. But one day I just randomly got on, and it would usually post like 4 or 5 people just randomly on the homepage, and then you could kind of look through there. But usually they were close, but once in a while you get random people from other states. And so that day there was a picture of a girl from California that was really pretty. And typically I don't click on people from that far away just because of long distance and all that. So this time though I did. So I clicked on her profile, viewed her. She was really pretty. Her profile, she sounded really fun. And it said she was a teacher, so that was interesting to me. I had sent a message and said, hey, it's really hard for me to get on a computer and message back and forth, so, could I get your number? And then I also put my number on there. So then she sent me her number. I started texting, and then she texted me back. So we did that for a little while. She was really cool, so one day I asked if we could talk on the phone, and we did. And I'm pretty sure we talked for 2 hours or more. But the first little while was just kind of we'd talk on the weekend, and then eventually got to where we were talking every night for, I think our minimum was like an hour and a half. And then we were finally able to meet up in person. She came up to Utah, and I met her in Salt Lake, and we went on our first date there. And that went really well from my point of view. So we decided at that time that we were going to date exclusive, even though we were far away. I guess one important part of the whole story would be, after our first date, I could tell that I really cared about her, and I could tell that she really cared about me. And so it was like a week after that, we'd continued talking on the phone, and then we decided to FaceTime for the first time. And in that, the big reason I wanted to FaceTime her was so that I could tell her that I loved her. Because at that point I decided that that's how I felt. So we FaceTimed for the first time, told each other that we loved each other. And it was awesome because Theresa let me say it first. And she was headed to Europe. I feel like that's when it went from "I think I love you" to solidified that we loved each other, because she would get up at like 5 in the morning after, in Europe. I know she was running around and doing lots of things and probably really tired, but she'd get up at 5 in the morning and we would FaceTime before she went out for the day. And so that's when I really feel like I fell for her and was all in. And I feel like once it started, once we decided we were in love and that we wanted to be married, it's just, everything's just kind of happened. And I felt like I've been living a dream ever since. One of my favorite spots on my family's ranch that is a place I've always thought about building a house, and spent quite a bit of time going through there on horses and things, and pondered about that. So we got up, it was on the weekend, got up Saturday morning, saddled some horses. I told her we were going for a horse ride, and then we did, checked some cows, and then I told her I wanted to show her the place where I was thinking about maybe building a house and see what she thought. And so I took her there. We tied the horses up and then walked up the hill a ways. And then actually on the way up, I saw a different spot that I thought might be a little better, where there's a little grove of trees. And so we looked at the spot and talked about it. And then we went over to the grove of trees.
And then he had turned me around to point out stuff. And then squeezed my hand, and when I turned around, he was down on one knee and proposed. Told me about what a future would look like, what he liked about me, and why he wanted to marry me, what he loved about me.